The release of Borderlands 3 in September is soon upon us, and with that, we'll likely be treated to a host of characters from past games. Borderlands as a franchise is such that the games have accumulated an expansive lore, and by this third mainline game, we can expect that there exists lots of backstory. Leading up to the Borderlands 3's release, we will be producing a handful of character backstory videos on select Borderlands figures. People who may either appear directly in the game or whose legacy is such that it has a lasting impact on the franchise in whatever form that may be, either within the game or for our own enjoyment as the audience. This video is on Claptrap. Well, a Claptrap. Claptrap is a name that can refer to a line of robots, but it is also a name reserved for a particular robot. The more general name Claptrap refers to a mass-produced line of multi-purpose working robots made by the Hyperion Corporation. While they're meant to be highly capable, the real result in the games is less than impressive. They frequently need repair and aren't the best at the tasks that they're assigned to. They're not particularly responsible and have been programmed with annoying and abrasive personalities. It later becomes a goal of series villain Handsome Jack to eradicate all Claptrap robots. He eventually achieved this goal, save for one Claptrap. We'll be paying special attention to the adventures of a particular Claptrap character in this video. The first Claptrap you meet in the Borderlands franchise, in fact, also may be known as the Firestone Claptrap or Sir Hammerlock's Claptrap, though Sir Hammerlock would object to that. They're the one that directs you to Dr. Zed early in the game, and they're also the one that you have to repair in an early story mission in the first Borderlands game, after they are shot by bandits. That's the most of Claptrap's significance in the plot, but Claptrap does also figure significantly in a DLC mission for Borderlands called Claptrap's New Robot Revolution. What happens is that after the completion of the game, this Claptrap is reprogrammed by the Hyperion Corporation to harass the Vault Hunters of the first game, the very team that had helped repair them and the team that they had assisted throughout Borderlands 1. The Claptrap we knew is Claptrap no more. They are INAC, the Interplanetary Ninja Assassin Claptrap, aiming to attack the Vault Hunters by various methods of harassment instead of flagrant violent antagonism, including such methods as poison, spreading rumors, and different manners of traps. But once given this assignment to harass the Vault Hunters, INAC noticed how its fellow Claptraps were being treated poorly by humans and were forcefully obedient to their programming. INAC then decided to lead a rebellion against humanity, even converting some humans into robots and reviving past bosses and outfitting them with Claptrap parts, including General Knox, Dr. Ned, and Commandant Steele. The DLC adventure, handed out to you by Hyperion Corporation's Jeffrey Blake, concludes with a final great showdown against INAC and its mega interplanetary ninja assassin weapon, the MINAC. After this episode, INAC's programming is restored to normal, thus becoming Claptrap again. We see this Claptrap again in Borderlands 2, but by now this Claptrap is the only Claptrap in existence. Series villain Handsome Jack deactivated all other Claptraps in existence, and is now the CEO of Hyperion Corporation. Claptrap's combat abilities have been deactivated, and its earliest plot involvements in the game see them captured and tortured by King of the Rippers Captain Flint, though later escaping after staging a mutiny. The Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters meet the Claptrap after leaving the train wreckage in Windshear Waste. You then brave bandit territory with Claptrap, defeating Flint after taking on his subordinate Boom Boom, ultimately retrieving and boarding a boat and making your way to Sanctuary, the most free place on Pandora. Claptrap's personality is pretty clearly abrasive, but Claptrap is a mostly unambiguous ally. The Claptrap is later outfitted with an upgrade that allows them to deactivate a security barrier needed to proceed to the bunker, which they later do while allowing your team to do the honors of doing all of the hard work. Claptrap also opens the gate to Heroes Pass at the end of the game, though needing your help in defending them. Claptrap would be unable to proceed further, as they were confronted with a staircase, and Handsome Jack had cruelly got rid of their stair-climbing wheel in a different game. This is the strange conclusion to Claptrap's involvement in the main story of Borderlands 2. Claptrap does appear in 2 DLC missions for Borderlands 2. Claptrap first appears in Season 1 Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt. Handsome Jack, the object of Claptrap's utmost ire, is now dead, and so Claptrap stows himself on the HSS Terminus, giving themselves a nice time until they deactivate the autopilot and the aircraft crash lands on the swampland continent of Egris, the location of the DLC episode. And so you must save Claptrap partway into the DLC episode, because why wouldn't you? As it turns out, the HSS Terminus would become the base of Professor Nakayama, the main antagonist of the big game hunt, and a man who seeks to clone Handsome Jack. And it is after Claptrap's rescue that you must start destroying Handsome Jack's DNA samples. Claptrap also appears in the following Season 1 DLC chapter, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, playing a fictional role-playing adventure inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, but called Bunkers and Badasses here. A variety of Borderlands characters take on different roles in the fictionalized story, and Claptrap is the Grand Wizard who has quests that help you to make them more powerful, as befits the character. The purpose of the game is to help Tiny Tina accept Roland's death in Borderlands 2, and Claptrap is present at Roland's memorial at the conclusion of the episode for what is supposed to be a touching moment. Claptrap does appear in Borderlands the pre-sequel. A chance encounter between Handsome Jack and Claptrap leads the former to upgrade the latter with more combat abilities. This Claptrap is a playable character, one of the main playable characters. Claptrap is party to all of the main story events of the game, which sees Jack ascending from Hyperion employee to the deranged villain Hyperion CEO and newly named Handsome Jack. Claptrap figures especially in the DLC episode Claptastic Voyage, which sees the Vault Hunters, including Claptrap themselves, navigating a digital simulation of Claptrap's mind. This all on assignment of Handsome Jack, who seeks to obtain the H-source hidden within this Claptrap by the former CEO of Hyperion, murdered by Handsome Jack at the end of the pre-sequel. The main antagonist of the episode is Shadowtrap, an evil mode of being that Claptrap has assumed long ago, though it was later discarded after reverting back to their normal, though still now exists as a subroutine within Claptrap's mind. After the defeat of Shadowtrap, Handsome Jack uses the H-source to disable all Hyperion Claptrap robots and shoots the Claptrap we've been playing as and watching, leaving them for dead. Their remaining coding keeps them alive until Sir Hammerlock finds Claptrap and repairs them. Claptrap does have a cameo playable role in Tales from the Borderlands, found in the last episode of the game. He is a mystery vault hunter that can be hired when fulfilling certain game circumstances. Claptrap does return for the recently released Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary, a DLC episode meant to accompany and follow Borderlands 2, leading up to the release of Borderlands 3. Claptrap has minor roles in this game, but we learn that Claptrap houses ambitions or delusions of power. A side mission in the Doll Abandon sees Claptrap asking you to acquire Betcho wafers, jewels of dubious value, with Claptrap assuming that they will become rich. Another side mission later in the game also sees Vaughn asking various characters for advice on how to become a good leader to bandits. And that concludes our video on Claptrap. Unsurprisingly, and perhaps to the dismay of some both within Borderlands and to those that play the game, Claptrap will be making an appearance in Borderlands 3. Claptrap has been made to be highly important many times in past Borderlands games. It's not really clear how Claptrap can have a large-scale political involvement in this go-around, since aspects of their background can't be fleshed out any further than they already have been. But we can expect Claptrap's own brand of abrasive comic hilarity in this game, and you should of course expect to see Claptrap on your side, to whatever degree Claptrap agrees to that. Tell us what you think of Claptrap as a character. Will they be a major character in Borderlands 3? Do you think Claptrap is funny or annoying? Have you noticed that Claptrap will have a new voice actor this time around? Is there any way for Claptrap to be significantly involved in the plot of the next game? Let us know in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.